Good evening and warm welcome to the North Bank Summit. Monday night, Arsenal win again, top of the league. Liverpool lose, City lose. It's all looking rosy at the moment. And to discuss that, look back at the Madrid game, look forward to Brighton, and obviously a game at Burnley on Saturday. Here's my co-host, Mr. Johnny Brooks. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, all good, thank you. Yeah, my week's been a bit like waiting for a bus, really. I waited ages to go and see the Arsenal this year, and I've had 2 in a week. So, very good at the last week off. 2 nice wins.
Yeah,
top of the league. There's a bit of distance. Good.
Good stuff. And good evening to Mr. Jonesy, who's stepping in for Andy tonight, who's away in Madrid. So good evening, Stephen.
Cheers for that. Good evening, everyone. Cheers, Mum. Great to be here, mate. Same as Brooksy. I've been thrown here. I don't even know who that is, but great to be on the show with you boys. But buzzing. Great weekend all for the Arsenal, isn't it?
No, it's absolutely great, and it's great to be on the show with you and Jonathan. So brilliant.
No, I am in trouble.
Anyway, let's go into the chat. Good evening to Andrew Mayer. Good to see you on, mate, as always. Good evening to Barwick. Good to see you on, Luke. Scroll down. Good evening to Jeff. He's in the house at the moment. Good evening, Jeff. Tarek's in the house. Good evening, mate. Good to see you on. Just keep scrolling down. See who else we got on here. Good evening to Ryan. Good to see you yesterday, mate. Oh, it was a quick one, but good to see you. As always, keep up the dedicated work, mate. But Scotty's in the house. Oh, he's happy to start, isn't he? After that 3-0 win at Everton, I thought he'd pop in tonight. They're all back tonight. Rosie's back in the house as well. After a
Rangers won a game, didn't
they? Spurs and Rangers win, and they're in the house, mate. They're in the house. So good evening to you all. As I said, obviously shows over the last couple of weeks, and obviously put out the advertisements. So if you want to ask any questions, feel free to raise them in the chat. All questions will be obviously raised up and answered by our superb panelists here. But obviously let's look back quickly to the Atletico Madrid game on last Tuesday in the Champions League. A comprehensive 4-0 victory with 4 second-half goals. Just going to go over to you first, John, on this one. It was obviously a tough game, and we knew it was going to be a tough game. But once that first goal went in, the heavens opened, and it was a comprehensive victory in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I haven't seen a team dismantle Atletico Madrid like that for a while. I can't really, considering you think they thrashed Real Madrid 5-2, and you see Real Madrid beat Barcelona yesterday. That's a hell of a result. I mean, it's superb. I mean, second half they were absolutely outstanding. I mean, some of the goals and players coming in like your Lewis Skellies and your Martinellis, just grabbing the opportunity. Brilliant run, brilliant finish. I mean, another set pieces. Also, McKay, 2 goals to Sexy Victor. In the right place at the right time where we wanted to be. Yeah, it was a fantastic performance. Proper good.
Yeah, no, it was proper good. And going over to you, Jonesy, on that performance. A statement now put out that Arsenal obviously here to compete like they did last year. Obviously, that's both the Madrid sides now. We're beating them at the Emirates 7-0 on aggregate. What's the difference that splits us up between these Spanish clubs now? Because we've been really comprehensive against, obviously, them. Real Madrid. Obviously, we went to Bilbao and won 2-0 there. Is it the squad, or is it just obviously the 11 we got that do go out? They've just got so much capability that they can go and run these games now.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both. I think our league is a hell of a lot tougher than La Liga. And that's no disrespect to the Spanish league. It is, it's either Madrid or Barcelona that are up there winning it. But it's our strength in depth, mate. We've got players now. If someone goes off, you're so confident who's coming on to fulfill the role next. Listen, it was a massive, massive statement that on Tuesday night, like Brooksy said, that they dismantled Real Madrid the weekend before that game. So they're no mugs, and I don't want to hear this bollocks. They were tired and all this rubbish. No, they still put out a team to battle, and it was a fight. That first half was it was a real fight on that pitch, and we showed we had a bit more. Next up, I want us to do exactly the same to Bayern Munich, mate. Put them to the fucking sword as well. Send old dribbler back to Germany, and that's that put a bigger statement out. We're big boys now in this competition. I'm going to say it. We are big boys. We've showed it last year. Unfortunately, got done by injuries more than anything. When you look at how PSG went through and stuff like that, and who they faced in that final, that Inter Milan shouldn't have even been in that final. The performance they put in. But yeah, no, we're here to play this year, and Arsenal at the moment, we're a machine, and literally we ain't being stopped at the moment. We're like a freight train, and everything in our way is being ploughed out of the way. And I don't care if it's 1-0's here, 1-0's there. This team is built to win that, and we're seeing it, and we're loving the results as fans. And it's good times at the moment. And anyone who's pissing and moaning about the way we're playing or we're doing this, we're doing that, fuck you all. We're top of the league. We're in the Champions League. Champions League, we're perfect in the Champions League. We're only getting 3 goals this season. Absolutely amazing. You can't fault that team Arteta so far this season. I know it's early and stuff like that, but just got to keep going. That's all we have to do.
It is early doors, and also with the early doors, it's good to see Jeanette walk through the door. Good evening to see you. Good evening to Catherine. Just popping to say hi. Have a good show. We always do. Good evening to Pete. Good evening to Pete G. He's in the house. Good evening, mate. And good evening to the Legend Wishes G. She's in the house as well. Mm-hmm. So good to see a lot of people on tonight. Yeah, brilliant to see. But just going to get some good points raised there, Jonesy. We'll go back over to you, John. We talk about defence. No goals conceded in Champions League so far this season. 3 goals conceded against the Premier League. 2 away from home against Liverpool and Newcastle, and 1 at home against Manchester City. So quite arguably the 3 biggest teams that we played probably in the Premier League this year. And obviously at present, no goals are conceded in the Carabao Cup either. So that's 3 goals in 13 games. It's absolutely insane, isn't it? And when we talk about insane, and I'm just going to quickly go fast forward into yesterday's game. Obviously, William Saliba goes off injured. I actually thought Mascara looked even better when he come on than what Saliba's first half performance was. And it just shows you now strength in depth, don't it? Hincapie come on and showed his strengths and capabilities in that cameo role. Like, I've never seen us defend like this, and I thought I see it all when we had the famous back 4. I thought even sometimes in Wenger's reign, especially in the 2002 season, 2004 season, the rear guard performance that were there sometimes, but these guys are doing it week in, week out, game in, game out, and can they achieve the incredible feat that was achieved by Chelsea, where they only conceded 15 goals in the season? Could that be a landmark that they could achieve? It's
possible. I mean, it depends how early we win the league. I mean, the way we're going, we'll win it by Christmas. But oh dear. We carry on the way we're going. We could, wrap it up with a few games to go. Then you never know. You play a few. Depending on how far we get in other competitions, we'll start, fiddling around with the team. It's possible, but I don't care how many goals you can see as long as we win the league. I mean, if we've got that record, great. But our defence is just incredible now. I mean, as you said, we've been very lucky growing up with the famous back 4 and in the Invincibles defence. But I think that the way this team's going, I mean, trophies should come. I think they could be the best defence we've ever had. There's just hardly any weaknesses. Rare slightly. He's an amazing shot stopper, and that is very good with the street, although he still slightly scares me. But the 4 defenders in front of him were just incredible. I mean, Yuri and Timber, my God. I'll say this again, £35 million. He is absolutely sensational. He's just got it all. He's just a machine. He's not the tallest, but he's just so good. That bit of skill he did in the first time, he's just shooting the ball and taking it around. He's a fullback. A fullback doing it. If Saka was doing that bit of skill, he would have been going mad. Mascara was superb when he come on. Gabriel was a great player in the first half. He's just an absolute beast. Calafiori, my God, where I was sitting, he took a throw in front of me. What a sexy man he is. He's beautiful. And he's just so good. He's just so good. And I'm not talking about Lewis Skelly coming on and everyone. And that in Capia, we haven't really seen much of him, but he looks. Our defence is just ridiculous. I haven't mentioned Ben White. It's just. it's obscene. It really is obscene how good our defence is. And if Mark Gay was looking yesterday going, I wouldn't mind a piece of that, he's more than welcome to come and join us. And he did a sensational block yesterday and saved a goal. I mean, I don't know why he get in the side, but just to piss even more people off, to spend a team full of centre halves. We win about 5-6-0 every week.
Getting into Victor Hyle, great show was over from the island for the West Ham game in Atletico recently, over again before Christmas. Big win yesterday, great 1-0. Come on, you Gunners, from Irish Gooner. Question here from Mr. Podcast Ryan. Thoughts on the Prem? Only one game will be taking place on Boxing Day.
Very disappointing. It's tradition, isn't it? It's tradition. But for me, Boxing Day, horse racing and football. Yeah. And it's a shame that TV companies have to get in and ruin it. Yeah, it's not how it should be. It always used to be Boxing Day and New Year's Day as a fixtures and watch them. But yeah, no, it's been ruined, sadly.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous though, mate, that the trains don't run on Boxing Day either.
No.
I just don't get it. Like you got Boxing Day sales, etc., etc. Right? It baffles me that actually, I think, from my perspective, how much I love Boxing Day football, it's hard for me to get there, which makes it tricky. So it actually works in my benefit when it's getting played the next day, which is fortunately my birthday as well. Just if anyone wants to turn up at the Emirates on my birthday and buy me a drink, but there you go. But no, it's a funny old one, isn't it? It's a funny old one. It's another tradition that's going out now. It's a bit like the FA Cup. In terms of like where the semi-finals used to get played and where they get played now. It's just these little traditions that seem to be like disappearing from our game. And I think we might see this pretty much more longer term, that these Boxing Day games will be very few and far between, because I don't even think I think last year we played on the 27th as well, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
And I suppose the other way they look at it as well, don't they? They like to split all the fixtures up so there's games each day as well. So I guess there's games running right through Boxing Day into the 27th, into the 28th. But Abby knows flexible.
Who's the one game that's on Boxing Day? Anyone know?
No, don't know who it is yet. If anyone knows, put it into the chat. I hope it's Liverpool. Liverpool, I'm going to find Wade someone.
12:30 kickoff.
Yeah, that'll rattle them up, won't it?
Yeah.
That'll rattle them up.
Away to Sunday.
Pete G's on there. Sunday was just about winning after Liverpool and City. I absolutely agree. G saying us last season would have dropped points in that game as soon as others dropped. So did we, but not this season. Tarek saying it's amazing to see defenders love to defend. Andrew saying our team are now AL too good for everyone. Anthony, good evening, Anthony. He said, big up the lads. Hope you're all well. So yeah, good to see those people on. Good evening to Lauren. She's in the house as well. She's saying that she loves Boxing Day football. I think sadly, you're going to be watching probably the Championship games, isn't you? If you're going to watch some Boxing Day football this year.
Yeah, I'll have some on there. Not Plymouth Argyle because they're fucking terrible.
To be fair, though, it's open for all this year, the old Championship, isn't it? I think that's going to be a really interesting tussle. We might get 3 newly promoted teams coming up this year as well.
Yeah, Coventry are doing well, to be fair. They're flying.
Yeah. Even Millwall.
Fat Frank's doing well.
I said to, was it you, Jonesy? I said to someone yesterday. I might have been one of the Palace boys. I went, I think it was Jim. I went, cool, Palace, West Ham be spicy next year. We went, no, West Ham be in the Championship.
I think they will be,
yeah.
It's shocking.
They could bump into each other in the Championship, to be fair. That'd be interesting. Tarek just saying can spend more time at Next on Boxing Day sales this year. Can't think of anything worse, mate.
Fucking
yeah.
Can't think of anything worse.
I'll be carrying on eating.
But looking into the Champions League, Jonesy, obviously, as I said, that's 3 wins out of 3. Yeah. 1 in Bilbao, 2 good results against Olympiacos, now Atletico Madrid. You look at the next game, Sparta Prague away. I think it's November the 4th, is it? Which I think believes a 5:45 kickoff that day. We are looking pretty much like if we go and win that game and then get a result against Bayern Munich, you'd like to think at that point, pretty much, we must be getting close to kind of seeding that top 8 place.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's what you want, isn't it? Because obviously it helps you out best in the draw next. But yeah, like you say, Sparta Prague, they shouldn't be. I'm not going to say they'll be easy because no teams are easy, especially, when you go away from home to places like that and stuff like that. So we'll get that done. And it's just the Bayern Munich one for me. We seal that. And then I think as well, I know we put the statement down against Atletico. I just think people and, pundits and all them would look a bit more and think, wow, yeah, Arsenal are they're really here.
Bayern Munich are better.
Yeah, Bayern Munich they're probably going to be the best team we face, obviously, in this group stage.
Yeah.
And if we could somehow dismantle them, I'll just be so happy, mate. Just for Kane, just to see that little prick dribbling all over that pitch. But I know what you're saying. It's sealing the top thing. I just think, just do what we've been doing. Get as many wins as we can under our belt, and it just breeds confidence, doesn't it, in every other competition that it goes from. You don't want to see a weakened side and then you get a loss somewhere, and then it could lead into a bit of form dip with players and stuff like that. But just keep doing what we're doing and winning, seal that top 8, and get an easy-ish draw in the next round.
Tarek corrected me. It's actually Slavia Prague. Obviously we'll be playing on the 4th. No, I totally agree though. I think with Bayern Munich, they are a better team. They got the options up front, and they got Marco Olise and Harry Kane. Will be a good challenge, I'd say. And I think that would be a big statement win if we can do that. I think with the Atletico one, look, I expected Arsenal to beat Atletico. Obviously not as comprehensive as they did in the second half, but I look at the Bayern Munich game and I think that's actually the statement win. That would be the statement win to say, like, do you know what I mean? And Bayern Munich for me are going to be one of the teams that are going to be really up there this year. Like Michael Olise, I think we've known for a couple of years how much highly I rate him, but this kid's like as good as anything that's out there, and that would be a good challenge for like Timber and Calavori on that day. So I think that's going to be the big statement game. I think that's when you look at it, it comes right in between Chelsea and Tottenham fixtures. Yeah. Well, Tottenham Chelsea fixtures, I say, which is not ideal if we're being totally honest, because obviously we are going to play probably our strongest team in all 3 games, 3 games. But it'd be interesting, will he do that? Do you know what I mean? Or will he kind of tinker around with it? I think potentially he might it's a tricky one, isn't it? I say he might with the fullbacks, but to be fair, I'm not sure if I want to mess around with the fullbacks against Bayern Munich.
No.
Because I think that's where it could be won and lost.
Because they've got Diaz as well now from Liverpool, and he's done really well for them since going there. He's a speedy little shit as well. So I think Timber can handle him, no problem, because he plays out on that left. And then obviously I think Calafiori will have Elise on lock, but we'll see. Like I say, it's a different kettle of fish. They have got good attackers up front, and it'll be a real big test for that defense. But that defense has held up so far this season, and I can see him doing it again, to be honest. Unless Kane gets his fucking penalty like he always gets, but exactly.
Luke saying the Atletico game was one of the most complete performances in Europe under Arteta, and probably up there with some of the best European nights. I totally agree with that. I think when you look at big European nights, I think obviously Real Madrid stands out at the moment, but we're being honest here, that's probably the second biggest European night at the Emirates since probably, I'd say, Barcelona when we beat them back in 2000. Was it 2011, 2012, something like that?
Yeah, 2011,
But the old magical Irish Champions strike. But I think, it was definitely up there. And I just think it was how comprehensively we destroyed them in that 14-minute spell. Looking at the Champions League quickly, just in terms of the big hitters, who's impressed you so far this season? I'm pretty much, I think I said at the pub the other night, I think at the moment, my favourites probably would be Barcelona, then Arsenal. I don't know. Because I know it's probably not right what I'm going to say here, but because we've never won it, I always feel it's a bit of an Achilles heel with us. And I don't like us being favourites for a trophy that we've never won, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Not saying we can't win it, because obviously we can win it. I'm not saying we can't beat Barcelona, because we can beat Barcelona. But I think on their day, and when they hit a stride, like they hit a stride the other day, look, they got fortunate with the obviously red card and all that. Never a red card in a million years, but once they get into that swagger, don't they? They do know how to really demolish teams off.
Yeah. No, yeah, they're definitely up there.
And then they lost to Real Madrid yesterday, so
yeah, it's
PSG look good. PSG
Yeah.
look good again, and that's without Dembele. They've had a few injuries, and it's all smashing goals in for fun.
Yeah, they got 7, wasn't it? Last match day, they scored 7. I think it was 7.
Against it was a Leverkusen, wasn't it?
Yeah, Leverkusen. Yeah,
They absolutely battered them. So yeah.
Shane just saying, why do you think the stadium sounds flat this year, or is it just once off? I'm not lucky enough to get to games. Do match going fans have a part to play in winning titles?
Yesterday was a bit hit and miss. It was fucking freezing as well yesterday. I guess it was cold, but yeah, I don't know. I was sitting to, just moaning all the way through it. Oh, what are we doing? I said, oh mate, honestly, it's just people just like to moan for the sake of it. But yeah. I don't know why it was flat. It was quite lovely against everyone. But
I think
it's a silly ballot system.
Yeah, I think Crystal Palace fans, I was more surprised about yesterday because they're notorious turning away, like notoriously turning up, and that was even with their HF in the crowd. And I raised it with their fact, like obviously a couple of my mates after the game, and they were like pretty much like, yeah, it was really quiet, and they felt that maybe it was a bit of a hangover after Thursday in the European tournaments. And it's quite interesting, isn't it? That actually, that's come from a Crystal Palace fan, that actually the midweek games are now having an effect in terms of their atmospheres on a Saturday and Sunday. And I do always feel that there is always a hangover after a big game. So when you get that kind of a buzz like the Atletico Madrid, I do feel that that the next game's always quite tough because you always look at it like, are we going to get that again?
Yeah.
Where you're not going to get that again. And let's be honest, yesterday's game was probably one of the poorest games of football I've seen at the Emirates for a long, long time. Look, I'll be totally honest here. I'll put it very clear that I don't give a shit how we win as long as we win. And no team peaks in October. So do you know what? I watched Man City lose 1-0 yesterday. No one's saying a word about Aston Villa winning 1-0. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Against a good team, mind you. Liverpool conceded 3 goals again and lost 3-2 at Brentford. Like, these are the kind of games, right, that you'll get throughout the season, especially around now where actually players are coming in and out of the international duty. Do you know what I mean? So there's a bit of disturbance there if we're being totally honest. As we said, you're playing European games, you're playing Premier League games, then you're playing Carabao Cup, then you're playing back in the Premier League, then you're playing Champions League. You're playing all different kinds of variety of football. Some are big games, some are not big games. And I just think where the games coming thick and fast, like, it's hard to maintain that performance. It's hard for these guys to maintain that performance. Yeah, we've got to rotate as well. But am I worried that we're winning 1-0 at home in October? No, I'm not. Mr. Stelling, like, what are you on about, mate? What are you on about? Like, if Arsenal had lost that game yesterday, 3-1, for example, against Crystal Palace, there would have been that bit, Arsenal can't win games ugly. Yeah. They win games ugly, and they still don't get credit for it. At the end of the day, Crystal Palace are a well-coached team with one of the best coaches in European football right now, and that's how highly I rate this guy. Like, this guy has taken a club like Crystal Palace to the promised land, won the FA Cup, won the Community Shield. They were 19 games unbeaten in all football competitions up till a couple of weeks ago. Where did anyone think that we was going to go and batter these guys yesterday? Like, they've got a well-structured back five. Every player knows his role within that team. The striker's an absolute handful. They've got one of the most up-and-coming promising players in Adam Walton. Yeah. I don't know where people thought that actually we're going to go and destroy this team yesterday. I really, really don't. And this for me sometimes a bit of football arrogance or football ignorance, I should say. Like, let me tell you what happened in 97-98 season. Crystal Palace come to town. We beat them 1-0, Gilles Grimandi.
Monday,
yeah.
I didn't hear absolute no one sit there and criticise Arsene Wenger for winning that game 1-0 that day.
No, that's what it's changed, isn't it? These muppets on the telly now. Just like I say, we could be sitting where we are, like 4th, and scored the most goals, and we'll get we'll get slated for not being tight enough in the back. We can't win. Arsenal, we've learned this by now, supporters. We can't win with the media. There's always something. No matter what we do, there is always something they're going to get on our back about. whatever. At the end of the day, mate, what I say, at least they're fucking talking about us. Do you know what I mean? That's what I say. And we're in their fucking heads. That's what it is.
Yeah, we wait till we win it. It will be unbearable.
I'm going to be the worst person ever.
Oh, man, I'm already warning people at work. It's going to be Naked Monday the day after we win the league, mate. I'm going to be running around like a loon.
Unbearable.
But it is football ignorance, isn't it? Yeah. It really is football ignorance. And this is the world we live in now, that with the social media world and all the clicks and all that. And I was listening to Martin Keown today talk, and he was like, it's all about the terminology of what you're trying to say. Do you know what I mean? It's all about the words. Do you know what I mean? Like, you think Arsenal are thinking about how they're going to lose. No, they're thinking about how they're going to win every game. And look, we're not going to win every game comfortably. There's going to be games when we do go and destroy a team 3-4-0. Do you know what I mean? All right, it happens every season. We're going to destroy a few teams like that, and it will happen again. But at this moment of time, right, we've got a reliable team. We've got, as John said, the best defence that we probably ever had in terms of a squad defence. We've got 2 centre midfielders absolutely on top of their game in Subamendi and Declan Rice. And I've got to be honest with you, I thought Declan Rice covered every grade of grass again yesterday. Yes. I thought Subamendi played really well. Got a little bit sloppy at the end, to be fair, Subamendi, but I thought he had a good game. And you look at that, that's the basis and that's the structure of the team. And if you keep that fit and you keep Saka fit, I don't see how we don't win the league this year. I don't see how many teams can really overcome us this year, if I'm being totally honest, in the Premier League. And I look at the rest of the teams. I see Chelsea lose to Sunderland. All right, Gary, how you doing, mate? Just seeing you come on. Bonjour. Funny enough. How weird's that? You come on, I meant Chelsea. But I watched Chelsea lose to Sunderland. I look at Man City losing to Aston Villa, and I look at Brentford beating Liverpool. And if I'm going to be totally honest with you, all them 3 results, they're bad results for them teams. They're bad results. And I'll tell you why, right? Because actually, you shouldn't be winning a title going losing to Brentford. No disrespect for Brentford, but you shouldn't be doing it. You 100% should be doing it against Sunderland if you're Chelsea. And Aston Villa played really well, but they're not the same Aston Villa of the last 2 years. Do you know what I mean? They've started to pick up again with some results, but it's a bad weekend for the 3 clubs that I actually thought, right, were going to be our competition this year. I really thought, right, Chelsea after winning the gold coin, I thought that they might put up a bit of a fight, but they haven't. If I'm being totally honest, and they still renowned to losing stupid games, and that they seem to be a bit vulnerable at the bridge. If I'm being totally honest, I look at Man City, and if Haaland don't score, Man City are not going to rack up 90 points this year. It ain't going to happen because there's games where Haaland goes totally missing because he can't get in the game. And then you look at Liverpool, you just think, well, there's big problems there at the moment. Like, to the point where the manager who won them the league, they're talking about getting rid of him. This is the fan base at the moment, talking about getting rid of him. And you can't blame him, to be honest, in a lot of ways, because Arne Slot is his own worst enemy at the moment. He's his absolute own worst enemy. Like, he's just got into an absolute mode where it's everyone else's fault apart from himself. And I think if you look at it, it's all Liverpool's fault, if we're being totally honest. They're the one who got the checkbook out. They're the one that gone and recruited the players. But they didn't replace Trent Arnold. Like, I don't think Conor Bradley is as good as they thought Conor Bradley was going to be whatsoever. You look at the striker situation there. That's fair enough, but I know obviously what happened in the summer was a tragic thing, and they probably didn't expect they'll need to go and buy 2 strikers. But I think what they've done is right. They would have been better off buying a striker and someone else who'd been probably more than happy just to sit around the bench. But what they've gone and done, they bought 2 strikers. One's going to be pissed off, and that brings discontent. And then obviously works. I don't really know what to say about him at the moment. There's just no performance in there whatsoever in the Premier League. So it's obvious that he's going to take time to adapt. So when I look at them 3 results on Saturday, and I look at them 3 clubs that were going to be the clubs that were going to challenge, I sit there and think, are they really, really going to put on a big consistent run this year? I'm not really sure they are, mate. Like, Liverpool have lost some stupid games, like Manchester United at home. They've lost Brentford.
They're now below Man United in the league.
Yeah. They've lost Brentford away. They've lost Manchester United. Now, the team who wins the Premier League They're already 6 points down, and they're not even tough games.
No.
They're not even like the toughest of games. Let's be honest at the moment. No disrespect to United, but they're not the toughest of games. They got to go to Man City in 2 weeks' time. One of them clubs are dropping points, if not both.
Look forward to that. Yeah.
If Arsenal do win the next 2 games, potentially they could be up to 9-10 points ahead of Liverpool. Yeah. And it's not, and you just
there could be those points like in front of them before they even kick off.
Yeah. So that'd be a big deficit to catch up on. That will be a big deficit to catch up on if that happens. So I think it's really important that we see out these last 2 games. I think Sunderland's going to be a tricky game, mate. I think they're going to be well up for it. You know, Granit Xhaka's going to rally the boys. It's going to be a big game for him. I think that's going to be the game, right? Actually, at the moment, we need to go into international break on a high, don't we? Are you confident, John, that we can see out them 2 games?
Yep. I mean, I'm worried, obviously, because Burnley away, 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. It'll be cold, windy. It's a shithole. I mean, they let 2 goals in against Wolves, for goodness sake, and Wolves are shocking. I mean, fair play if Burnley can get a goal against us. That's sounding too bigger than arrogant, but you'd like to think our defence will shut them out. Yeah, and I think we'll get 1 or 2 goals. Yeah, I think, like I said, Sunderland's one away, R5, 40,000 pissed up Mackhams, Granit Xhaka mode, whoever score get sent off, get a bit excited. But I think these players got something about them at the moment. They're so up for it. Everyone knows what they're doing. There's so many leaders all over the pitch. Yeah, I mean, there's possibility we can have a Madueke and maybe Havertz back for the Sunderland game possible. I don't think they're too far away. It's just whether we get any more injuries. Obviously, I know Saka was ill. That's why he wasn't at the races yesterday, bless him. I know Saliba come off, but obviously Mascara was superb when he come on. I know they said Martinelli had a slight knock, Rice. So he's just got to be careful this week. Play where he needs to play against Brighton. Leave 1 or 2 of them out of Burnley if need be. And he can do the same in Prague. And Sunderland's a one. I mean, we shouldn't underestimate Burnley, but we should have more enough. I mean, Liverpool scraped past them, but that's Liverpool. But we've normally done a right up Burnley the last few years. Like I said, I'll take another 1-0 win if need be. Like I said, it's all about getting 3 points. Obviously, we want to win 3-4-0, but just get the win. We take 2 1-0 wins all day long, wouldn't we?
Absolutely. Too right.
Yeah, I think. Look, I totally think like if you go into international break and you have beat Sunderland, then that at the moment will be a good a top result because the way they're performing. Look, they're performing way out their means at the moment. Like, they got 17 points already. Yeah, they're probably looking at. We're being totally honest here. I reckon they'll probably need about 36, 38 points this year, tops.
They might not need that much. The state of Wolves and West Ham. I can't see them getting that many points.
Well, I don't think I'm not sure I can see Burnley getting that. And when you look at the West Ham and Wolves, you're thinking that's 2 big sides out of there. And you're not even discussed. Like, you're talking about 2 Premier League clubs who've not been promoted. And actually, then you're looking at Burnley potentially, and you think actually 36, 38 points could be quite optimistic. So you look at Sunderland, you think actually they're halfway there already. Look, they've recruited really well, and as we know that the stadium does hold 52,000, they will get that stadium pumping that night. Not a night fixture under their lights. I think that's a good challenge for us. I think that's going to be a really, really good challenge, and we just need to see how we kind of react and deal with that because there'll be different scenarios, won't there? Like when we went to Newcastle, we'll look at that was a scenario that obviously we overcome. We look at I look at these home fixtures we've had at the moment. Look, we should be beating West Ham at home.
Yeah,
we should be beating Crystal Palace at home. Like these are not games that we shouldn't be not winning at the moment whatsoever. We should be winning them games. But we need to deliver that. Do you know what I mean? And I think obviously Saturday, I think we'll have too much for Burnley. I think you look at our team, you look at the talent that's on the pitch. I think we're better suited away from home, if I'm being totally honest. But The only problem now is away from home. We're sitting up against low blocks away from home as well. Teams that are not wanting to come out at us whatsoever, which makes it a little bit more tougher because they know we got the likes of Saka, that we know who's coming back into form now. We've got Eze who's coming. Obviously, I thought he had a poor game yesterday, if I'm being frankly honest. I weren't really impressed up to the goal with how his contribution was in that game because I think he kicked the ball away about 3-4 times.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
But he put the ball in the back of the net. He won the game, and I think these players, games will open up just a little bit more away from home. So I think there's more chance away from home in terms of us getting convincing performances than we do at home. Do you know what I mean? But just go with you, Jonesy. We're first in the league for set piece goals, but 17th for open play goals. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't give a shit. As long as we're winning these games. I mean, when were set pieces not allowed?
Was it a thing? Yeah.
They've been in the game since it was invented, haven't they? Corners and free kicks and everything. So why is it a thing now? Just because we're utilising something we're good at? It's like if you're good at your job, Brooksy, and someone says to you, you shouldn't be so good at your job. It's like, well, that's what I'm paid to do. Do you know what I mean? I've worked
unbelievable at my job.
But I think BBC put out the table, didn't they, where we'd be without set piece goals, and the narrative is just ridiculous at the moment. I loved, 2 1-0 wins against Sunderland and Burnley, both set pieces. That'll set the fucking world on fire, wouldn't it? But no, I'm all for it. I love a set piece goal. I love to see defenders scoring more than anything, to be honest, especially Gabriel. But you have to train and you have to practice to do these set pieces. It's not like you just fling a ball into the box and hopefully you get a head on it. They're there. You can see Nicholas Jova comes out onto the technical line. They are practice. I wonder how long they spend on it, to be honest, at training. But if anybody practices and they're using it, like the long throws and stuff like that, whatever is in the game, let's use it. If it's winning us games and scoring us goals, I'm all for it. No one moaned about. No one moaned about.
Deliveries by Declan Rice.
Yeah.
World class by Declan Rice. That's world class. Time after time after time. To keep whacking that in and Saka. It's incredible.
But it's like no one moaned at Man United for beating Liverpool with a set piece goal. It's just the narrative against Arsenal. But who cares? You know what I mean?
Plus, Morgan just said for me, it's the fact that we hold possession and defend very well, but the end product is so lacking. I dare say
we miss Odegaard. Don't forget, we miss Odegaard. Eze is an Odegaard. I don't care what people say. And if he comes back in, because he was hitting full Odegaard before he got injured again, bless him. But that's what we missed out yesterday. You see him driving the ball forward. That's what we do. I mean, Eze's trying. I don't really know Eze's best position yet, bless him. But we're still missing players. Matt Wakey as well. And he's been a revelation. If he comes on and hits the ground running again, he'll be running up and down. As good as Trossard has been, and I have to say, second half, I thought Trossard was superb yesterday. I thought he was so skillful and rude, intelligent, and I thought he did very well. But obviously, Madueke offers raw pace. And I think Odegaard and him back, I think we will get further up the pitch. But I don't care. But it made me laugh. They all come back and we'll still win 1-0. And they'll still moan.
Good evening, BX Gunner. He's saying if Arteta was given time after an FA Cup, I think Slot should be given time after delivering a league. I think Slot will be given enough time, to be fair. I don't think there's any capability they can get rid of Slot whatsoever at the moment, if I'm being totally honest. But surprising how the fan base can kind of change on that one, isn't it? Because there's a lot of
just a funny bunch.
A lot of talk about Klopp again now. But that I guess this is the problem that actually he's got, isn't he, Slot? That it was Klopp's team. He took it on. But to be fair, he took it on and won the league. But now he's buying his own players. I guess he's got to implement his own kind of style. But I think he is going to need to be given time. I do kind of get when they talk about Liverpool that actually they say about this kind of new season that actually they're going to have to. It's a bit of a teething period. And I do kind of get it because actually he is trying to change the style. But at the same time, I just think the results that he is losing, you would have never imagined it whatsoever, would you, at the start of the season? So I think it's going to be a learning one for Slot this year. As I said in the previous show, I think that they're big players like your Salahs and your Van Dijks. I think they'll look at the Champions League this year. I think their eyes will go off the Premier League at some point very soon. They lose a couple more games, and then they don't think they're going to be in the running. They'll very much change their scope. These guys will want to win the Champions League because they're aging. It's probably one more opportunity, isn't it, Jones?
Yeah, that's what you think. They always say like sometimes you take your eye off the ball when you've won it and stuff like that. But yeah, if I look at it now, Van Dijk and Salah will probably want one more Champions League under their belts. With Liverpool, and yeah, I kind of agree with her. They looked all right in the Champions League. It looked like they were a lot more focused, and they just seemed like they were on it a bit more than I've seen them in the Premier League this season. But just going to Slot, mate. Slot, I don't know what it is. It must be a Dutch thing because we saw it with Van Gaal, we saw it with Ten Hag, we've seen it now with Slot. Dutch managers just seem to lose their heads and want to blame everyone else. He'll probably be talking about set pieces and that still in the next few weeks about it and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I don't know. There was a video circulating. I don't know how true it is of Van Dijk and Slot having an argument. Someone secretly filmed it. I don't know if there's anything to read. And I don't know if that's true or whatever. I saw it just before we come on, so don't quote me on that. I don't know. I think in Salah as well, he removed all Liverpool stuff. There is something going on in that dressing room. I don't think so.
Someone made comments and he proper bit about something. I can't remember what it was, but yeah.
Yeah, so just one to keep an eye. I don't think the squad is as harmonious as the Gunners at the moment.
Well, Salah did fall out of Klopp in that last season. So there's history there with Salah and falling out of kind of managers. That wouldn't surprise me.
And it's been Paul.
Controversial one by Mr. Morgan. Question marks over Eze and Gilchrist for me at the moment. I think it's harsh on Eze. I think it's harsh on Gilchrist as well.
It's harsh on both, to be quite frank.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. I feel sorry for Gilchrist a bit because obviously when I see him live, he is very isolated. He is very isolated. Now, when you see that, like the ball that Eze did put into Gilchrist for the Nottingham Forest goal, was it Nottingham Forest? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was Nottingham Forest. He shows what ability they have got, and when he's given the ball in the right areas, what he can do. I just don't think he's getting the. I just don't think he's getting the balls. Now it is very hard. Like these teams are so low blocked. Like I'll be honest, I tell you, I was really impressed with yesterday. Was that the centre back Crystal Palace? Very, very good centre back. Like probably one of the best centre back performances I've seen in the Emirates for a while. I thought he did. He played really well against Gilchrist. I think personally, with this Eze signing, look, at the end of the day, right. When it was just Odegaard, we didn't have someone who could go in there. Now we've got someone to go in there. Actually, when Odegaard gets injured, it's not a tragic thing, and it ain't a tragic thing because we're sitting top of the league quite comfortably. I like Eze. Look, I think he's coming to a new club, bigger expectations, bigger club, playing up against more low blocks than he's ever played against with Crystal Palace. And he's been asked to play a number of positions as well, for being totally honest. He's played the right 10, he's played the left 10, he's had to play on the left wing. So it's not like he's come in and he's had like a concrete position. I think give him a bit of time, Russ. The Gilchrist one, for one, mate, is a little bit more interesting. I think there's going to be games where actually we'll prefer Havertz up top to Gilchrist. And I think the one thing we do miss out of Havertz and Odegaard, probably not goals if I'm being totally honest, but it's the press. It's the press at times that I do think we do miss out of them too. Look, I still think, within the next year or two, we'll need to go and buy a world-class striker. I still think that will be the case. Like, I don't think Gilchrist or Havertz will be the long-term answer. Gilchrist is 27, Carl's 28, do you know what I mean? So he was brought for the here and now. But I think there will be a longer-term plan to bring someone else in who will be better than him. But I think we need to put chances on his plate. But I think we would expect it a little bit more out of Gilchrist in terms of goals at the moment. If we're all being honest with you, it's a hard one though, isn't it? If you said to me, would you rather Gilchrist score 10, 11 goals now, and you sit second or third in the league, or would you rather he scored 3 or 4 and you're sitting top by 4 or 5 points? I think I'd rather the latter, but he does need to start scoring big time. he does need to start scoring. He needs to get a run of games where he's scoring in the Premier League, and that needs to kind of trigger in. There's big games after the international break. It's not getting twisted. Like for me, that's the big moment for Arsenal Football Club. When we go to Tottenham at home, look, we've seen their away record, mate. They're gonna come to the Emirates quite confident. So that's going to be an absolute barnstormer of a game. Arsenal Tottenham this year.
Everton a fucking shit.
Chelsea away. Do you know what I mean? We've got a good record at the Bridge. I don't think we lost 2019, but you got to go out. You got to go to the Bridge and do it still. Do you know what I mean? The Bayern Munich game stuck in between them two games, and then you've got Aston Villa away and Brentford at home as well in that period. So that'll be the telling point. That'll be the telling point. And I think the most important thing is at the moment is to try and get players back into the squad for that point. So actually you can rotate the team a little bit, but also keep them fresh for these big games, because for me, that piece there will tell me if we're going to comfortably win this league this year, or it's going to be a struggle. And it doesn't need to be a struggle this year. It doesn't need to be, because I look at the teams and I think I don't think there's 90 points in Man City or Liverpool this year. Do you know what I mean? I'm looking at I'm probably looking at mid 80s, and that's downwards. Do you know what I mean? So if we can remain consistent like we are now, then it's the time. We have to deliver. We have to deliver. There's no excuses now. I've said it before. There is no excuses. The squad's there. They have to go and do it this year. They have to go to final furlong. Do you know what I mean? I don't care how we win it now, mate. Like, obviously, I want us to win games 3-4. I want to be entertained. But I don't care if I'm a Stoke FC, to be honest with you, Gav. I don't care if we're winning, mate.
I don't care.
But do you know what I mean? Jose Mourinho took a lot of shit back in the Chelsea days when he was winning leagues. And let's be honest, right? They weren't as bad as people made out to be. They had people like Joe Cole, Arjen Robben, do you know what I mean? In that team at the time, Lampard, and they were getting tainted. Did old Mourinho give a shit? No, he probably loved it, right? Because you know what, right? He's probably going into that dressing room every day going, they're right against you. Build that fucking us against the world. I think that's what Arteta's probably doing now, going, look, it's us against the world. Just do it. But it's about these moments. And I'll tell you one thing yesterday, and I'm cool. I'm bad for it. There is that anxiety in that stadium.
Oh, that last 10 minutes, it was horrible. I was pacing around. It was, people were leaving. But I was like, why are you going? But yeah, that is the other thing. People were getting proper twitchy, and there was feeding onto the pitch. You could tell, like you said, Zubimendi, people were like slicing up in the air and kicking it. It's just like, calm down. Ray was booting the ball out the ground. I was like, yeah, you just wonder. Obviously, we keep going the way we're going next year. It gets closer and closer. Everyone's so desperate to win it, and everyone's just going to have a heart attack, I think.
That's the other thing we need to overcome. And I said it on the show the other day. I was in a pub or something, but I said the best way to overcome this year, right, is to go out and win the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it'll be the best way to overcome it, right? By winning a trophy early. By winning a trophy early, right? Put some confidence in the team and go, do you know what? We've delivered one cup. We can do it. Do you know what I mean? And it might put the fans at ease, but there is an anxiety in that stadium. There is an anxiety in that stadium. And that's been years of being let down, years of failure. Do you know what I mean? Years of getting close, but not getting over the line. And it does sit there. And it is the elephant in the room at the moment. It is there to stay at the moment. And it needs us to win games comfortably, basically. Like these 1-0, right? Like yesterday. You're just sitting there thinking, it can't happen, can it? It can't happen.
Should have sorted the game early in the second half and hit the bar and get shot.
Well, more to the point, what was Martinelli and Gallcrest doing? Like Martinelli had an option in the 94th minute to run to the corner flag, decided not to. The Gallcrest one was inexcusable in my eyes. Like, I don't care if you ain't scored and you're looking for a goal, right? Yeah. You're in the 95th minute of the game. You got no one up with you. Run to the corner flag.
Yeah,
he ran towards goal and lost the ball and put pressure back on ourselves. They're the things that Arteta needs to get back into the training room, whether he does it in the video room and shows him it, or whether he does it on the training pitch. You need to be tactically aware when you go in these moments, because I always remember a West Ham game that Antonio done that. I think it was against Crystal Palace, and he tried to run towards goal instead of going to the corner flag, and they got the goal, balled back down the other end in the 97th minute and scored. Look, famous John Barnes, mate, 89. Yeah. He should have run to the corner flag.
Yeah, exactly. Look what happened now.
If he runs to the corner flag, that game at Anfield never exists. Never exists whatsoever. It's moments like that. Do you know what I mean? And they're the things that we need to do better. Pardon?
God bless John Barnes. Good man.
I thought I'd dig it out, though. Luke Barwick saying, obviously, strongest squad we've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can't disagree there. BX going saying Fifi, D and Salah would be prime real estate in Serie A. But they're still big players. They're absolutely big players. Like the goal Salah scored the other night.
Yeah, lovely finish. That's the
well
first thing he's done all season.
Yeah.
But he's got that in his locker, isn't he?
Yeah.
I do think sometimes with Salah, is
more AFCON, don't forget. We forget about AFCON and Christmas time. He's going to the Cup of Nations, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good news.
Sparks is in the house. Good evening, mate. Remember when obviously Henrik said, I couldn't stop mentioning Arsenal? Yeah, that definitely lost him his job in the end of the day. Yeah. Got Barwick Gooner saying the same thing about Lacroix. He had him on lock. He will go for big money somewhere as well. I tell you what, right, they've got some players. When you think about the players they've had in that club over the last few years, like your Michael Elise's, your Eze's, this guy, Guayi, Adam Walton, they've had some good players. Their recruitment's unbelievable, really. BX guys saying Gilchrist never gives up and has a warrior's attitude.
He does put a shift in. He just needs some more goals, but he doesn't go hiding.
Andrew Matt saying Hughes also a tough tackling player. Put it about for Palace. He's a good option for them off the bench, weren't he? Just scrolling down. Jeanette saying this definitely has to be our year. I totally agree.
Absolutely.
BX guys saying 3 points is all that matters. That is literally what it is now. It's literally that's the way we got to do it.
Notching up the wins. It doesn't matter how beautiful we do it. That's it. As you said earlier, Liam, we will batter a few teams, but at the moment, just keep doing what we're doing and let everyone else try and catch up.
An interesting one there. Berta in this window where the missing pieces we lacked. I totally agree with the Berta situation. Like, I don't think Edu would have brought these kind of, or wouldn't even gone relentless. Like, obviously what Berta's done in terms of the recruitment he's done, but also putting it together in terms of buying the right players. Because when you look at Liverpool, like they bought a lot of players, but it's not working out. It is about Jonesy, isn't it? It's about going out there, buying players, but buying the right players for the right positions that you know they're going to click the team into gear. Because when you buy more than 4 to 5 players, it can have the other effect, can't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And this is why I'm glad he took his time, you know, and there was some of this fan base saying that he's not doing enough and he's not, you know, get his book out and get buy-in and now it's all like Berta's like, you know what I mean? Like he's now the second coming of Jesus. It's like he needed the time. He needed to see what the squad needed. Plus, like you say, mate, it's the right sort of character in that dressing room as well. You don't want to bring in a bad egg that could disrupt the dressing room. And no, the job he done over the summer was fantastic. You know, he got out players that needed to go out. I know we didn't get money for certain ones that we wanted. But what he brought in, he took his time and, you know, he pounced on Eze when we needed him. You know, people say because of the Havertz injury and stuff like that, but he still went and done it. You know what I mean? He still got that deal over the line. But I just think, people have a short memory, but no, he is he's a great piece to add to this Arsenal squad and Arsenal backroom staff. You look at what Edu's doing at Forest, and that ain't too great there. But no, and I reckon they've already got plans for January. If we bring something in, if we don't, we don't.
I was just about to say that.
It'd be interesting to see what happens in January. Very interesting. And
he likes the surprise.
He does, yeah. See what in
Capier.
Would you be against it? Like, not obviously not meant. Obviously his name, obviously because he's not around, but back in the Invincible season, we added a Jose Antonio Reyes in January to kind of help with
Just
that
add
last
into
push
the
to the top
firepower,
title.
absolutely.
Yeah, scored.
Someone like Semenyo at Bournemouth.
He got his first couple of goals against Chelsea, didn't he? We went on to win the
Yeah.
So there's someone that's available. Don't be surprised. He'll bring them in or pounce on that.
And the way we're going, there's not many people that will say no.
Exactly.
I'm still very much in the camp that I still think Gabriel Jesus has got something to offer.
Yeah.
This club between now and the end of the season. I just think technically, and if they can get him fit, that's a player to bring off the bench in games. You know what I mean? Like we see what he did against Manchester United a couple of seasons ago. Look, this was a fully fit Jesus, but Jesus was fit last year. 6 goals in 7 games before he got injured.
Yeah.
He's one player I don't want us to sleep on at the moment, and I think actually, he could have an impact between now and the end of the season, and he could be like a new signing. If we didn't go down the road about getting someone in January, that could possibly be a solution.
Just imagine the bench as well, by the way. So, and our bench is good now, but then you add in Jesus, Odegaard, Havertz, Madueke to that. It's obscene, honestly. Absolutely obscene.
Old Andrew, you having a joke? Don't tell old Russ that one. Ivan Toney in January.
There you go, Chelsea.
I can imagine it. BX Gunner saying Jesus definitely has a role to play in getting us over the line. Totally agree with that, honestly. He will contribute, and I'll tell you what, he's good in the Champions League.
He's got big game experience.
Yeah, like very, very good in Champions League. And I, do you know what? I wouldn't rule him out playing off the left. I wouldn't rule it out whatsoever. I think with the way things are going at the moment, look, I think, right, it's my personal opinion. I think when everyone's fit, I think Eze not playing off the left. With Odegaard coming back in the team. I don't really see Arsenal playing Eze and Odegaard, both of them roles. I just don't. I don't think it's worth risking, if I'm being totally honest. There'll be games where it just won't work. And arguably, it won't really work at West Ham until, obviously, Odegaard went off injured. So I think Eze will play some game time out of the left. But he's got quite a lot of options out on that left when we think about it. Like, he's got Trossard, he's got Martinelli, he's got Eze, he could potentially have Jesus as well. Do you know what I mean? And then he's like, do you know what I mean? And we're talking about Madueke as well. So we're talking about 5 players there that potentially could go on that left hand side. Like the options are absolutely ridiculous. And you look at the right hand side and you think, well, he's probably got it. Arguably, could end up being in about a year or two's time the top 3 right wingers in the country for English players. In terms of Saka, Madueke, and Dalman. So the options are massively there. So I think if he did bring someone in, I think it'd have to be the expense of Jesus. And I'm just not comfortable if we get someone in January that will actually prove to be a better quality of player than Jesus. And Jesus knows Arteta. Arteta knows Jesus. So I'm not sure we will go out and buy anyone in January. I'm not sure we'll need to. I just think that actually, if everything's going well and like Jesus is coming back in, Havertz goes back into that squad as well. I think in certain games, I think yesterday, for example, I think Havertz would have played in that game with Gulchrist. I think it pushed him right up and really made that Crystal Palace defend think about themselves a little bit more, because I think they would have struggled a bit more if Havertz was up with Gulchrist. So I think there's different options to different games, but I'm just questioning whether we can find someone in that window in January that would be a better option than Jesus. And we know one thing: what Berta doesn't do is panic. So like last January, for example, do you know what I mean? They didn't go and panic. They didn't go and buy a player that they needed to buy. Yeah, they looked at Ollie Watkins. I don't think it was anywhere near as close as that they were talking about. But they won't go out and panic to buy someone. They won't panic to go and buy a left winger or whatever they need, because actually they'll get the right one in the summer. And look, I think we got a squad this year. Do we need to worry on a January window? Probably not. So I think that'll be an interesting time. But yeah, it's good because we've got so many good players still to come back in his team. And like you said, John, like you're looking at the Odegaards, you're looking at the Jesus, you're looking at the Havertz, you're looking at Madueke. Do you know what I mean? And then you're looking at that bench that's not even getting into the team now.
It's ridiculous.
It is.
It is absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? It's insane when you think about it. Absolutely insane that that's the level of competition that's in this club. Now, I'll tell you, the big one for me yesterday was Mascara coming on. Like, you're looking at two players that probably would play centre back if Saliba and Gabriel are not there, in Hincapié and Mascara, and they both made an impression yesterday.
Massively. It was great to see Hincapié come on at last. You know, I've been waiting to see him since we signed him because I didn't watch Leverkusen at all, but you obviously look at these players when you sign them. But he looked like a right unit, and he was well in it as well. Like he was egging, like telling them to
well out it.
it's just like he's been there for a few seasons. Like he reminded me of another Gabriel, to be honest. I'm not saying we ain't seen a lot of him to be at that level sort of thing, but the way his stature is, the way he was shouting, because you could hear him.
He's a title winner.
Yeah, title winner with Leverkusen.
There, so he knows what to do. So, you know,
I'm confident, like you say, mate. If Saliba has to go off halftime, if Gabriel has to go off, I'm confident who's coming on. I'm not worried. Do you know what I mean? It's not the days of bringing
on. Was it 15 million or 30? It's just
crazy.
I bet Mateta must have been licking his lips when he seen coming at half time, and he didn't get sniffed. Did not get a touch. He was superb, so composed. You know, you think when he started at Liverpool away, come on, and he looks a bit shaky, and he made the mistake. Newcastle who come off, but yeah, he was brilliant yesterday, and he slotted right in. Yeah, you can tell all the players trust him and back him. Yeah, there's just not many weak links at all, is it?
No, definitely not. Good evening to the legend, John Matthews. He's in the house. He's saying depth. We have it in abundance. Exciting times. I even look at two goalkeepers like Kepa can't get a run out, like, and just to talk about that because he will get a run out this Wednesday. Like, this is a goalkeeper that's been around the houses, but he was brought by Chelsea for 70 odd million. Played really well at Bournemouth. He's been at Real Madrid. Exactly. Like, I feel that actually when we got going into the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, like we had quite a few seasons with Arsene Wenger in charge. We always had a good second choice goalkeeper that could do well in the cups. I think this is the guy that can do well in the cups, and hopefully he'll get some really good game time.
Yeah, no, I hope so. He's like you say, he's a good keeper, and no one would pay 70 million for a keeper if they're not great. Unless it is Chelsea, to be honest, because they, they just throw money anyone. But no, it'd be great to see him on Wednesday because we saw him in what was it, Port Vale, was the last game he played for us. I think it was, wasn't it, in the round before? So, but yeah, no, he's a quality goalkeeper, and like you say, mate, we've had it before. When we had Seaman, and then we had Manninger, a great backup choice, and we've had them Lehman, and then who was it? Chesney was behind.
Richard Wright.
Yeah, Richard Wright. Sorry, Richard Wright. Yeah, and don't mention Stuart Taylor. But no, we've had decent goalkeepers in the past, and that's what you need, because the cup competitions are very important to keep up the focus, to keep up the momentum in the squad. And I'm looking forward to seeing some changes on Wednesday, to be honest, because just to see these players in a full 90 minutes rather than like these cameos of coming on the subs. I think, ring in all the changes on Wednesday. Let them all have a run out. It keeps the squad happy as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. Good evening, Jason. He's in the house. Said Mikel has one hell of a dilemma for squad selection when Kai and Jesus are back on field and on the bench.
Who drops out? That's
that is the question. Who drops out? But look, it's good for rotation, isn't it? It's good to keep players fit, keep players fresh. You know what I mean? There'll be a lot of games coming up that we go into January, December, January again. Like, I actually think tomorrow's a really, really tricky game. Right, I could have done with missing out on Brighton, to be fair, because I think they're one of the hardest home games because like they're very unpredictable. Brighton, so it won't be an easy game of football. But I want us to win the Carabao Cup. But I'm not saying that it's going to be a difference maker because it's not. For me, it's about going there, getting a bit of a taste, see the trophy through. Do you know what I mean? We got to the semi-finals last year, and we was a disappointment. I'll go that far to say I thought it was a bit of a disgrace in that semi-final in both legs. Do you know what I mean? We let ourselves down badly against Newcastle last year. I think we can all agree on that. But we like to make the wrongs right at the moment. And that's another wrongs right to get to a final of Carabao Cup and go and get the first trophy in the club, mate. That will be the best thing we can do to kind of get everyone on track for the second half of the season. Get rid of that bottling tag straight away. Do Do you know what I mean? Let people then start fearing us. Shit, Arsenal got and won the Carabao Cup. They're still top of the Premier League. They're still in the Champions League. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully, we'll still be in the FA Cup at that point. So it's about taking these games, but winning these games as well. Like, yeah, we will fully rotate the squad tomorrow, but we're saying how strong our squad is. All these teams will be rotating tomorrow. And Wednesday. Don't think they won't rotate, because they will rotate as well. But we've got to get over the line. Like, do you know what I mean? It's unacceptable that Arsenal have not won a League Cup since 1993.
Madness.
Like, it is madness, mate. You took 32 years.
I was 12.
32 years.
12. Oh, dear,
Do you know what I
mate.
mean? 32 years that we haven't won that cup.
Jeez.
It's not acceptable for a club like Arsenal
Disgusting,
to not be able to win the League Cup. So, yeah, I do want to win it. I do want to win it. People go, I don't really care about the League Cup. Yeah, I do care about the League Cup. I do care about it. It ain't going to change the matter in a day that we have to win a Premier League or that. Do you know what I mean? But we've got the squad. We've got the squad. We've got the set of players. We've got the manager. We've got the coaching team. The fans are on board. Do you know what I mean? Let's do it. Maniga, what a keeper. He come in at a really good point, didn't he, Alex Maniga? 97, 98 season. He had a really good impact. Really, really good impact.
Lovely hair.
Beart's going to say this is a squad very much capable of winning multiple honours this year.
Definitely.
Yeah, and that's the way we need to look at it. Jeff said, poor old Steve Morrow. The curse of Steve Morrow, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. Jeez.
The curse of Steve Morrow. Looking ahead to Brighton, guys. What's your predictions? Are you expecting a tight game? Are you expecting Arsenal to go through?
Yes.
I'll go to you, John, first.
Yeah, I think we'll win 3-1. I think they'll change a few players. Brighton are a funny team. We lost them again a few years ago. We lost to them. And was it Carl Hyde in goal? He was fucking terrible. They had a few dodgy goals in. But, yeah, I presume they'll make quite a few changes. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how much he loads the bench as well. I think he'd like to win. Yeah, I think he's quite important. It would be to win this. I wouldn't be surprised if Victor started up front again, just to see if we try and get him a few goals. Possibly, I don't know. Well, I don't know who else will play up front either. I mean, Marino possibly, but I imagine Marino will come in. Lewis Nketiah, Mosquera, Ben White, Martinelli, if he's not injured, will probably start. And Waneri will probably play. Alman possibly. So it'd be interesting. But yeah, no, I expect us to beat them. I mean, they're not fucking Man United, for God's sake. And I would expect them to make changes as well. So, but yeah, I was back. So I'll say 3-1.
I'll tell you what, he would interest me. It wouldn't surprise me, right, one bit this year, right, whether he played Martinelli or Trossard up front on Wednesday night. Because I think Gallcrest, even though I agree with you, like, Mika Marino would be ideal as part there, but Declan Rice obviously come off the pitch on Sunday, so you'd likely to think that
forgot about him. Norgard on the play.
Well, I think we'll probably see Norgard, Waneri, and Marino in centre midfield, and then obviously I think you look at the front three, and it's really hard to predict. I'm hoping Dalman will be given an opportunity out there on Wednesday, mate, and then it could be that he plays Eze on the left. He could play Martinelli or Trossard up front. Could see that happening big time. If I'm being totally honest, could see Eze get more minutes. I think he will rest Gallcrest. I think Gallcrest needs a bit of a rest. And look, he's played a lot of international football as well. Let's not forget that. He's played a lot of minutes. I think even though it's quite important for him to score, I think it's one of these games that actually you don't want him to go play against Brighton and get them pick up something. Do you know what I mean? So I've got a feeling we might see either Trossard or Martinelli up top, if I'm being totally honest. Which I'm not against whatsoever. I don't think he'll play Eze in one area as a centre midfield. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
With Norgard sitting behind, because I think that's expecting too much of Norgard. So I think Mourinho and Norgard definitely start in that midfield. I'm going to go. Do you know what? I'm going to go for 2-1 Arsenal.
2-1.
I don't think it'll be easy whatsoever. I think it'll be a tough game. It wouldn't even surprise me if that went to a shootout after 90 minutes.
Yeah.
What about yourself, James?
I don't know. It's like I say, it's a tough thing, isn't it? Now we've got such a squad that you can't predict who's going to come out on Wednesday, which is a good thing because you've got the depth. But I personally think Marino might start up front, and he'll go with it a different sort of way with Dalman on the right and Martinelli on the left. And then he might go for the Norgard, Ranieri and Eze. You don't know, we'll see what he does. But the defence still, to me, looks like solid. And I still don't see us conceding. So I reckon around like 2-0 on Wednesday night. I don't think it'll be like it'll be like a goal early and then maybe one later on in the second half sort of thing. But I just think that defence, like no matter who's coming in at the moment, and with Kepa as well, if he starts, it's all quality. Do you know what I mean? There's no one there that's even a weak link. So I just don't see how Brighton could even hurt our second string defence.
No, I think you're bang on. I think the ideal situation would be like Eze and Ranieri playing their kick top positions. Do you know what I mean? And if that does happen, then Mikel Marino starting up front could be a potential. I just wonder if he'll let Norgard do that with the amount of minutes. But interesting views there and interesting to see. Then going ahead to Saturday, obviously for Saturday, we've got a question here for you guys. How much would England's World Cup chances increase if Arsenal win the league? I can see it as an advantage with a good English core.
Well, they'll be going to the World Cup buzzing, wouldn't they? If we won everything, Saka, Rice will be, and Eze will be absolutely, and Lewis Kelly will be,
I think we saw it a bit with the Arsenal women winning the Champions League, and the girls who went with the Lionesses. They brought that a little bit extra. I know Russo didn't get as many goals, but she was vital in the hold-up play and stuff like that. Chloe Kelly, obviously, we know what Chloe Kelly did, and that was coming off the back of a Champions League win. So can you imagine if the boys come off of a Premier League and maybe some other cups wins as well? World Cup. It'd be absolutely, they'll be absolutely buzzing and ready to take on the world, which they will be in America.
Isn't that Saka winning 4 trophies and then winning the World Cup for England?
Imagine that, jeez.
He has to retire, wouldn't he?
He still won't be classed as world class though by some dickheads, but yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, no, I think it'll have a massive effect. I think you're right. I think look at the Arsenal women and the England Lionesses. I think it had that big confidence boost, weren't it? Like we're the champions of Europe and all that. And I think anything that positive happens in the Arsenal end of season can have a really good effect. And I think look, when you've got a driven player like Declan Rice and you've got someone as hungry as Bukayo Saka, I think that can only bode well for Thomas Tuchel. I think it all goes down to what squad he picks. But my only worry about England in the World Cup is the heat over in America. Do you know what I mean? I think that's going to be my biggest issue with England and whether they can go and win it over there. But they've definitely got the team. They've definitely got a manager who's won stuff before. And he's getting paid a good amount of money to bring this World Cup home. So, yeah, I'm actually excited for the World Cup, but I think it would be really, really good for them Arsenal boys to be able to go there with a lot of confidence. And I think that would be a big thing for someone like Saka, do you know what I mean, to take the World Cup Arsenal. Because I feel with Saka at times, it's the piece where he never gets to that final level. It's because actually he hasn't really got the arrogance or the confidence to say, back up my football with these trophies as such, you know what I mean? And I think that's what he needs now is them trophies behind him as such. Saka's ready to explode. I'm pretty confident of that. I thought yesterday, right, he weren't well for starters. One of Palace's strengths are they got good fullbacks, so they stifled us on yesterday massively. But I think Saka's
he almost scored a banger as well, even though he was at half. Bless him.
Yeah. But I'm going to put it out there. I think he has an impact this weekend. I think it starts this weekend at Burnley. I think it'll happen, and I think this guy's ready to implode, and we just need to stay fit. That is literally the only thing with Bukayo Saka is staying fit.
That's the one.
So looking ahead to Saturday with Burnley, I don't really see it being a tricky game. If I'm being totally honest, I'm pretty with you, John. They conceded 2 goals against a poor Wolves team. They only just about beat them.
Exactly.
I just think that team we've got at the moment should be going there quite comfortably and probably winning 2-0. 2-3-0.
Yeah, I agree.
I was going to say 3-0 to be fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say I was going to even go like 4, something like 4-0. I reckon we will. I don't think they'll.
A few years ago we beat them 5-0, didn't we? So
Yeah, exactly. I don't feel like they're going to low block it. They'll probably want to. They'll want it. It's at home, isn't it, Burnley? I think they will try and play us. But like you say, conceding, being 2-0 up against Wolves and then letting Wolves come back in, doesn't seem great. And yeah, I just think Arsenal will unlock them quite easily on the weekend. Yeah, 4-0, I reckon. Got with hat trick.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's interesting, though, isn't it? Like these next 2 weeks, like with Brighton midweek and Prague, I think it does give him the option to rotate his team for the Premier League, these 2 big Premier League games. I think it gives him the option. I think he will do so in Prague. I think he'll rely on some of these fringe players to go out there and do a job, and rightly so. Like I think that's a game where actually Sunderland now becomes a big game because it's a last game for the international break, and if you go in there we're winning every game. Bodie, we beat Burnley and Sunderland. Like you're setting yourself up really well to go into that North London derby on the return.
Yeah. Agreed. Massive.
So yeah, that's obviously pretty much it for tonight. Obviously, just want to thank everyone in the chat once again. Obviously, for your comments, some really good interaction in there. So thank you very much, guys. Cheers, Johnny Brooks, once again. Mate,
always a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Jonesy, thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. It was a pleasure to join you boys.
The streets will never forget that day, will they, mate?
Never forget, mate. Never forget. Great editing as well. But no, it's always great to join you boys and obviously step in to the legend's shoes himself of Andy. Hope he's having a lovely holiday.
Yeah, he was in Milan Stadium the other day. Really nice the old pictures there, didn't it? What a stadium that is, by the way.
Yeah.
Even better stadium when Arsenal rock up in there and beat him in their backyard.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But yeah, no, look, obviously big week ahead. We've got Brighton in the Carabao Cup Wednesday, Burnley on Saturday. Hopefully we'll be back next Monday celebrating 2 more victories to the Arsenal. Have a good weekend, everyone, and we'll see you all again next week. Good night.
Oh my goodness.